Hello and welcome, PocketWatch here, and it's about time for yet another episode of Fata Morgana. And today's episode, we're going to continue the story of Morgana. We are going to continue our journey through the staircase and her memories, I guess. So we'll see. Also, this episode is actually made on stream together with members. So hello, chat, and yeah, let's just go. Let's continue. Now on with the story. It was, I was at a complete loss for some time after that. Yeah, about the massacre. I didn't want to return to the city, because I knew there was no one left who'd take me in. There was only the Lord who had bounded me and drained me of my blood. So I wandered the roads, no destination in mind and nothing to defend myself but the clothes on my back. I wonder, what's the old Jacopo? Frankly, I'm rather surprised I was not attacked by bandits. After walking for days without food or water, my mind was hazy and my exhaustion at a peak. In the distance, I saw a lake. So driven by my thirst, I turned my unsteady feet towards the water, not caring that it took me off the main road. And it turned out that was the correct choice, because there was a small cottage beside the lake. Okay. We're going to meet some person that lives alone, basically. Smoke rising from the chimney, telling me it wasn't abandoned. Out of sheer desperation, knocked on the door. Yeah, how is he supposed to know who you are? So he might help you, or she, or whatever is this person. No one answered. The door wasn't locked, so I slowly, hesitantly pushed it open. And beyond it, I found an old woman sitting dead in a chair. Oh. Well, that's a finding. So did she? I think she just peacefully died on chair, right? Of the old age. Unless there's murderer inside the house. The woman was a witch. By trade, that is. It appeared she had a deep knowledge. Oh wait. No, wait, I thought she died. Wait, what? Sitting dead in a chair. I guess I could just mean motionless. I assume she's dead and yeah, she just passed out. Passed away, yeah. Okay, my bad. It appears she had a deep knowledge of medical herbs, using it to make an assortment of medicines. In her cabinets were dozens of small glass bottles containing dried, powdered leaves and crushed berries, among the other things. Or maybe she is actually dead? On the fire was the cauldron, liquid bubbling inside. Because okay, I got confused, I need to stop really talking, right? I feel we had some kind of time skip, and she's yeah, I lived with her for a while and I learned that she's a witch and she'll teach me these things, basically. But maybe she's actually dead and she's just us. The one looked as though she was asleep. Yeah, okay, so she's dead. So she just assumed that from the look of the cottage here. Presumably, she had passed away of the old age. Yeah, okay. But there was no sign bandits had been rooting through the cottage, and she had the look of absolute serenity on her face. Looking over the woman's dead body, I didn't cross myself. I envied her. Yeah. Dragging the woman's body by her feet, I dumped her into the lake. Okay, now I see where this is going. She's going to take her place, basically. So she's going to be as the witch that helps people, I guess. Because these were the times when they were I have this disease, go find the witch near the lake and she will find the cure for you. That kind of situation. Do you think doing so makes me a bad person? Makes me unsaintly? Well, I didn't have anywhere. Ooh, okay, I'm recording. Whew. I thought I forgot to click record. Well, I didn't have anywhere else to go, and the owner of the cozy cottage was no longer of this world. There was no reason I couldn't feel the home in her stead, was there? I desired to have somewhere I felt comfortable after everything I've been through, didn't I? And so I took up residence in the old witch cottage and remained there until my 16th year. Okay, how old was she in the previous episode? 12, I think? So it's 4-year time skip. Okay. By 16, a terrible cynicism had taken root in my heart. I had no trust for people. I shut them out, building high walls around myself. After such a tumultuous, bloody childhood, it was all I could do to protect myself, to keep my young spirit from crackling. So basically she's doing what she told Giselle to do, to build up the egg, to not shatter yourself. Nonetheless, travelers would, on occasion, pay the old witch cottage a visit seeking her medicines. Whenever someone arrived, I would casually crack the door open, telling them they could trade for whatever they wanted with food and never showing my face. One day, a young man showed up at the cottage. My sister has fallen very ill, and she desperately needs medicine. He was very soft-spoken. There was a distinct kindness in his voice, which I thought unusual, curious. What kind of person could he be? What did he look like? What expression did he make as he spoke? To satisfy curiosity, I stuck a peek at him through the crack in the door. He was a handsome young man with flowing flaxen hair. Oh, wait! This is Mel? I thought like the first one might be because like Order of the Doors. So the first lord wasn't Mel. Was the first Jacopo? Or is like this guy like second iteration of the lord? Or something. Okay. And upon seeing me, he didn't flinch back in disgust. He smiled. According to him, his younger sister had fallen gravely ill, and though they had tried a number of remedies, she was still bedridden. The medicines I gave him had no effect, but he persisted in his quest, visiting me again and again for the new combinations to try. He wanted nothing more than to relieve even the slightest bit of sister's suffering. Okay. Also, we can assume that Morgana have like zero medicine knowledge. Like she didn't got like trained like by this like old witch or anything. Like she just like got the stuff that she had in the cottage and probably like maybe read some books. So maybe she studied a bit, but she's not like, you know, she not necessarily knows like what fix what. And moved by his dedication to his family, I too wanted to do anything I could to help. For the first time in years, my world encompasses more than my small cottage. When the young man came, he would ask not only for medicine, but to go on walks with me. He volunteered to spend time with me, despite my horrifying appearance. It's not healthy to stay holed up inside all the time. You've got this beautiful lake right here. What do you say we take a little walk around the shoreline? He said with a smile, taking me by the hand. We spoke as we circled the lake. His voice was always soft and pleasant, like a ray of light shining through a crack in the walls. When I was with him, I felt like I could be an actual person, an ordinary girl. He talked about his sister more than anything, and whenever he did, he was at his brightest and most melancholy. The young man had been a member of the noble house, but disputes over who was the rightful heir and had forced him and his sister out. Okay. Trying to think of something. Okay, how far back before the first door it happens? Actually, wait. What happened I forgot his name. The grandfather, I believe, of Mel? What year was that? When like Giselle was like taking him as the guest, you know? Do I have this note? 1 second, I will cut here. I need to check my if I have like note for this. 1 moment. Okay, I'm back. So I don't think we had like any kind of year when like Morgana backstory happened, so can't really say. But Giselle was like taking care of the grandfather or like something like around like 1590, so like 10 years before the first door or something like that around. But I don't know how far in the past is this, so I cannot really cook anything out of this. Like realistically, I can like give like some like theory, but I don't know. Nah, I will just read. I tried to like cook something weird, but I really cannot without dates. Okay. Even his sister out. Shortly after that, his sister had fallen ill and was now bedridden. I will take anything at this point to make her better. I will even take a miracle if I can get one. That word, muttered beneath his breath, sparked my memory. I was a saint. My blood had healing properties. I had no reason to hesitate. Someone needed my help, and who deserved it more than his kind-hearted young man's sister. So I decided to tell him what I really was. I wonder if it will actually work, because most of this stuff was like either bullshit or like willpower of people who believed in her. So I don't think like if you give blood to a random person that will make them feel better. That my blood had miraculous powers, that it had saved people. At the moment I had been born, the drought plaguing my village had come to an end. That I had been known as the saint, the daughter of God. I told him everything, okay? And he believed it all, okay? I mean, he's like trying to catch anything to like help his sister basically at this point, right? He led me to his house, where a pale, sickly young girl lay in the bed. She was a sweet little girl, with the same flaxen hair as her brother, who looked like she would have been quite spirited, if not for her ailment. It was touching to see the two siblings sitting there together, quietly holding each other. Who are these? Like, is this really like early iteration of Mel and Nelly? It's like this girl going to die and he's like going to like kill her, like Morgana, because like he will be like he was supposed to kill her or something, and he'll like accuse her for poisoning her or something instead. That's why she cursed him. I would gladly give my blood for the two of them, and so I made a new cut on my arm, which had healed considerably thanks to the slave and the woman of the brothel, and let the girl drink of my blood. Neither of them had any doubts about my sainthood. Okay, so maybe she will get better, because, well, willpower will work. And because they believed, a miracle occurred. Okay, so it actually worked? Flax and her girl recovered enough to get out of her bed. I was extremely proud of myself. I felt like, for once, I had actually saved someone's life. The only issue was, she didn't make a complete recovery, okay? For a few days after drinking my blood, she was in a good health, but her condition quickly regressed. I was deeply perplexed by this. Yeah, because she probably had like illness that have like no cure, and like good will can just like keep you only for so long, right? Without proper treatment. A miracle had undoubtedly taken place, but it was only temporary. Now do I believe I can explain what happened. Her recovery was nothing more than placebo effect caused by her faith. Thank you, game! And thank you, Morgana, for realizing that. So she's not actually, like, blind in power, basically. She learned. She learned. I mean, she's now, like, basically almost adult, right? Like, at this point in story, she's 16, so, like, she can think better than when she was, like, 12 or, like, 14 or 6, so... Yeah, like, no more, like, I'm saint thing. That's something I couldn't have known at the time. Oh. I should have just read. Okay, sorry. Sorry. I know I talk too much. I know you hate this. I'm sorry. I mean, some of you hate this, some of you love this. I don't know what to do. We're all three perplexed. And we're all the three disheartened. Nevertheless, I was prepared to give her my blood as many times as needed. Whenever her condition worsened, the young man came to request more, and never once did I turn him away. On the contrary, I enthusiastically offered her my services. Over time, though, the hope in his eyes began to fade. He asked me on fewer walks, and he seems hesitant. Looked me in the eye. I assume it was out of discomfort or out of guilt, out of shame about asking for blood. But I don't think his concerns were for me, rather himself and his sister. As I mentioned earlier, blood was considered unclean in our time. And not only was I giving mine away, I was having his sister imbibe it. Looking at it that way, it would hardly be a surprise for him, or anyone else, to think that what I was doing depraved. As time passed, the flaxen-haired young man seems to grow more and more disturbed by me. Yeah, like, his sister definitely going to die, and there's going to be witch hunt. That's definitely going to happen. That was what I got for opening up. That was what I got for letting this kind, warm light shine on me. In the moments things went bad, he pulled away. There were times when I thought I shouldn't have done anything in the first place, but regardless, I held fast to my original decision. I would put myself on the line for them. No one else. Just them. Even if he was afraid of me, or had no interest in seeing me, I would continue offering her my blood. But I was firm in my resolve. One day though, I received a new visitor. Okay? The young man was still the only one I would show my face to, the only guest I had let into my walls. As usual, I took the man's request from behind the cottage door, but I could hardly believe my ears when he began speaking. Are you a witch with the miracle blood? Okay, so some rumors are spreading. First, how did he know my blood had powers? I mean, you were like giving it all the time, like, come on. Like, people would start talking. No surprise here. It got leaked. Second, why had he called me a witch and not a saint? Oh, that's actually a good point. I didn't like realize that. Yeah, she was talking that she was a witch. She was a saint to the Flax and her siblings. Oh. Oh shit, that's someone from her past. Oh fuck. She got discovered. Third, why did he sound like a man who had slaughtered the slave? Gosh, oh. Oh, hi Yukimasa the first. God damn it. I told the man he had to leave. Then I would not be opening the door for any reason. In response he said, I'm in need of your blood. Could you not spare a little? Okay, he's awfully polite. For someone who just slaughtered the people like few years back. I mean, few years might have changed him somehow. Why is he here? How did... Huh. My blood was for the sick and needy. I would never spare a drop for a murderer like him. And I told the man exactly that, demanding he leave. All I could think about was a pile of bodies, the fountain of blood. The man drenched in crimson, wearing a ghastly smirk. I trembled behind the door. fearing he may go on another such rampage. Instead, he gave a simple, as you say, and went on his way. Okay? He changed! What the hell? I let out a deep sigh of relief, which is when I realized tears were rolling down both my cheeks. I guess she was scared, right? These were like tears of fear. Like an ordinary girl. 3 days later, the flaxen-haired boy showed up at my cottage. Okay, I'm sorry for being so distant lately. I want to talk things over. Those 2 sentences were like a light shining from above. I wanted to talk to him too. I wanted to take a walk around the lake and listen to him talk about nothing. I wanted to experience the warmth of his words once more. And I wanted to tell him about the terrible man who had been there a few days earlier. About how scared I had been. What if, like, this guy is like now like some kind of like person for hire, and like this like first iteration of Mel, I guess, like hired him to get blood for him because he feels guilty, and since this didn't work, then he have to come here like anyway, or something like that. I wanted him to tell me it would be alright. I want to talk to you too, I said, opening the door without a second thought. The light of the sun was so bright, all I could make out was his silhouette. Couldn't see the look on his face or the look on his eyes. A gentle breeze blew past. My mind froze. How could this be happening? Okay, what is happening? What does it mean? Why? How? What was this man doing standing behind him? Oh Oh, we're playing hostages now! Great! Okay, he did not change. Oh my god. But there's like, again, not a single, like, why would she curse Mel then? It's not the version of Mel. Oh, maybe she feels betrayed. Because, like, he made her open the door for the Yukimasa the First. Or something. But he was threatened. Like, what you can do? Like, come on. Why was he coming into my house? And probably he got his sister as well. And why did he swing it down, severing my arm? Oh! I thought he was going to kill the guy, but okay. Well, shit. Is this the place where she's dying? I was in a daze. I couldn't make sense of anything. I didn't want to. My left arm fell to the floor before I even knew what was happening, and then my legs gave out. The pain, sitting and unbearable, came a few moments later as I was lying in an ever-expanding pool of my own blood. I did something then that I hadn't done before. That I had resisted doing no matter how much blood the Lord had stolen from me. I screamed. It was hideous, visceral noise. A sound I had never thought a saint could make. The same ear-splitting howl the slaves had made as the man had butchered them. I withered, I wailed, I wept, I crawled across the floor through my own blood. I begged and I begged and I begged for my life. The man walked over and picked up my severed arm. And then, shockingly, he tossed it to the kind-hearted young man. The fuck is happening? What kind cooperation is that? Okay, what? After which he said, "That's your share. Should last you long enough." What the fuck is... Okay, now I see why she may want to curse this guy. Yeah, okay. Share. What did he mean by share? What was he talking about? Why had he given him my arm? And why he had taken it? Why was he talking like they knew each other? Why? I had spared blood for him when he asked, hadn't I? So why was he doing this? Was cutting my arm off and stealing it easier on his conscience than simply asking? Good point, good question. I have no fucking idea why. You understand how I felt, don't you? You can put yourself in my shoes, can't you? The young one refuses to look me in the eye. Holding my bloody arm in his trembling hands, he fled from the cottage as quickly as his legs would allow. The man then walked over and picked me up. I had neither the strength nor willpower to resist. Holding me in his arms, he began to speak, telling me things I didn't want to know, things I didn't want to hear. But he didn't care. Nothing personal, I just need your blood. Without it, she will lose her church. The fuck? Who is, like, what? What church? Who? Like, who are you associated with? Don't take it personally. Tell me, is there anyone in this world who wouldn't feel a bit of spite after being put through such torture? How was I supposed to let that slide? No one that much of a saint. My trust had been betrayed and I was supposed to turn the other cheek. A man had bragged into my house uninvited and cut off my arm. I was supposed to smile and take it? Is there anyone anywhere who doesn't feel even the slightest bit of hatred ever? Is there anyone in this world who could just laugh and brush off this level of abuse? Tell me, is there? How could I not hold a grudge? How could I not despise them? How could I possibly forgive them? Tell me, please. Tell me, how could I? She needs the money. And how the fuck blood works? Are you going to sell it? As the blood of saint? Who's going to believe you? Having some random, like, blood in, like, jars or whatever. I need some way of getting enough money to keep her church running. What church? Who? Her? Like what? Like you have sister or mother or what? So the Lord made an offer. Is that the Lord from the first story? If I brought him the witch with the miracle blood, he would finance a whole new church for her. Okay, so we not killing Morgana, we just turn her back to the Lord from the beginning, I guess? That's the only Lord I can think of. Unless there's like some new one. The Lord. Why here again? Yeah, yeah, okay. So that's the guy from the beginning. God damn it. Why couldn't he leave me alone? After trying to kill me during one of his blood Sabbats, why was he after my blood once more? He'd learned it really did have miraculous powers and decided he wanted me back. You get to be the sacrifice. The hell? To keep her church from collapsing. To keep her world from collapsing. Okay, who is this? Sacrifice. Excuse me, what? What kind? And what's all this about keeping her church from collapsing? You murdered a carriage full of innocent people. And you're trying to protect the church? You? Are you out of your mind? Churches are where people go to commune with a god. To speak with my father. How dare you soil those sanctified grounds with your filthy hands, you beast. It's insulting, sacrilegious, repulsive. Just what do you think we are? So don't take it personally, witch. I'm not a witch. I'm a saint. I was a saint. My blood exists to do the Lord's work, not to satisfy the avarice of man. Why is this happening to me? The man brought me back to the city. But instead of taking me to the Lord Manor, he brought me to a church on the city outskirts. Okay. Though to be honest, it looked more like an estate than a church. The church also served as a hospital, offering free care of the less fortunate children, the poor and the infirm. Is this the mansion? It might be the mansion that we all know. Because like I always thought like it looks kind of like a church or like some kind of like holy place basically, and I was like wondering why they even call this like a mansion when they have like tower and like stuff. And this is like how churches basically work, looks. Okay. So she's like very deeply connected to this like church from like past. Why this place is so important to her, unless she actually dies here and she's like bounded to this place as like a vengeance spirit or something. That was when I learned why he had said they needed money. The owner of the church offered unconditional assistance to anyone who came. Even when food and supplies were low, they would ration their own in order to help to keep helping others. As a result, the church was perpetually on the verge of the collapse. The church was run by the woman, something exceedingly rare for the time. There was no priests. All management was handled by the single nun, who everyone referred to as Saintness. Okay, you have competition. I was the saint. Why was this woman who didn't have ability to perform miracles being worshipped like she did? Why did the people of the city idolize her? Why were their smiles all directed at her? Why? Was I not in her place? The man carried me to the top of the observation tower. Yep, this is the mansion. It was there that I had my reunion with the Lord. Oh no. Oh no. I was to spill my blood for the people of the city, but also for the Lord's profit. He was not offering free aid, but selling it as medicine. So Lord is Jacopo, right? Like we have Yukimasa, and we had Mel and Nelly, and the Lord is Jacopo in this case. Okay. Well, fuck that guy. He was not offering free aid, but selling it as the medicine. Okay. He claimed it was the miracle elixir, telling no one that it was actually my blood. Well, yeah. Good, because no one would believe it and not buy. It was mixed with the beautiful red wine, and drinking it would cure you for any ailment. If they knew it was actually blood of the witch, they would think it unclean. They would fear it. I remained in prison for a long time. In the beginning, the swordsman guarded me. Though before long, the flaxen-haired young man showed up as well. Presently one severed arm wasn't enough to keep his sister healthy for long. In listening to the conversation, I learned that to ensure no one else could get in, the observation tower was sealed with 3 locks. Oh my god. The Lord, the swordsman, and the young man each held one of the keys. Holy shit. I was a secret, locked away in the tower for them to drain of blood away from wandering eyes. Time went on, and I grew progressively weaker. I lost the will to eat and the will to live. Yeah, she's going to die here. My only view from the tower was the clouds through a window high up on the wall. Occasionally, a pigeon would fly in. Sometimes a butterfly. I would glare in envy as it fluttered around, free to come and go as it pleased. And soon it was spring. Every spring, the church held festival to pray for the coming year harvest and the people's well-being. I could hear the bustle from the far below, through the window as everyone rushed to prepare. I heard the flaxen-haired girl voice, who had regained her health drinking my blood. What? She actually get better? I heard her brother's voice who had betrayed me. I heard the nun's voice who played saint in my stead. Okay, she also cursed the nun, probably. Who's the nun? Is nun the white-haired girl? Something. I heard the barbaric swordsman voice who had chopped off my arm. I hear the Lord voice, the root of all my suffering. I heard people praising the saintness, so I, true saint, was locked in the tower. I heard people thanking the Lord for his generous donations and miracle medicine, though it had all come from me. Propped up on my suffering. They cheered and clinked glass of my bloody wine. Those merry, peaceful, cheerful, spirited sinners' voices resounded in my tower. Ooh. And at noon of the day festival, the church bell tolled. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and with the 12th chime, I died. Whoa, what a way to go! Oh oh! What the fuck? She had braids. As the bell last pealing faded into silence, the tower door swung open. Standing on the other side of it were 3 men. They must have wanted to drain a little more blood from me to use in the feast. They arrived at the worst possible moment. The flaxen-haired young man was the first to express his consternation. Why? I never wanted her to die. Was she not eating? Fuck you. The Lord gave my corpse a casual glance and said stone-faced, "Seal the tower off." Understood, no one finds about this. This is like, yeah, this is clearly Jacopo. This is like him like sealing off his wife in the fucking cottage, like in the garden. No one will find about her, about this. You will not leave. How can you be so calm? Do you understand what you've done? Pinning blame on me? How nice it must be to be able to distort reality with panic. The swordsman, who had been silently observing the Lord and the boy conversing, interjected. You're just as guilty as any of us. Not only did they not mourn my death, they argued over whose fault it was. There was no regret, no remorse. The young man muttered absent-mindedly. I never wanted her to die. What did his intentions matter, though? It was his betrayal that had ultimately tethered me to this mansion, yep. But the fact that they didn't grieve my death, and instead squabbled amongst themselves like filthy rats, was the final straw. How could I not despise them? Yeah, now we know the backstory for these guys, and I 100% agree we should curse these guys. Yep, okay, I'm Team Morgana now. But still, can we please not like hurt Giselle? I don't believe I actually had the power to perform miracles when I was alive. It was all faith, the illusion of belief. It was neither the saint nor a witch. The blood wine was only effective because people placed their faith in the other saintness. I was only ever human. But then, in that moment, an actual miracle occurred. My father bestowed upon me his power. Perhaps it was the devil who lent me his strength. I was looking down upon my dead body. The prologue! Wait, what? So we're perspective of Morgana then? Wait, okay, wait, I'm fucking confused. What? This is the sentence from the prologue of, beginning of the game. My own wretched self. There was nothing beautiful about the pile of bones I had become. Wait, who's the fuck we talking about to then? Who's the Morgana we entered the door? What? I could almost smell the rotting flesh. That was once a saint? I laughed at the thought. It was absurd, ridiculous, and infuriating. They would pay. Those who had cast me into this hell, who had mocked me, who had done this to me, who had made me a witch out of me. Hatred cursed through me. The revulsion everyone of those grounds still smiling. They would know just whose dead shoulders the little party was resting upon. If they wanted so badly to call me a witch, then a witch I would be. I would kill them. Every last one of them. Place a curse on their souls. And so I made my wish. Most people might consider it a curse, but to me, it was most certainly a wish. My father, maybe the devil, granted that wish. From the garden, there arose a scream. The flaxen-haired young man knew that voice better than anyone. He went deathly pale, darting down the spiral staircase until he reached the window. A young girl was on her knees, vomiting blood in the grass. Okay. The young man let out a yelp as he descended the remainder of the staircase. As soon as he reached the garden, he lifted the girl in his arms, but he had already perished. She had already perished, yeah. Realizing this, he cried to the heavens, saying that the one thing he should have kept to himself. The witch killed her. Fuck you! The blood of the witch killed my sister. That wine you're drinking is no medicine. It's the blood of the witch. You're all drinking witch blood. Crushed by the loss of his family, the young man picked up the silver fork and plunged in his throat, ending his life. Naturally, there was an uproar. Goblets of wine crashed against the earth in rapid succession, as the people holding them fell to the ground and vomited and convulsed. The nun was the first target of their outrage. What she had claimed to be a medicine had turned out to be the blood, an unclean substance, the blood of the witch no less. A servant of the church, a servant of the Lord, had given her followers blood to drink. And this, their indignation, surged uncontrollably. The people surrounded her, tying her up and throwing her to the ground. As they prepared to inflict righteous justice upon her, the swordsman soared down the stairs and into the garden, plunging his blade into anyone standing near the nun. Okay, so this is basically, I don't know who she is, but she's close to Yukimasa the First. She might be his sister or wife, girlfriend, lover, whatever. It might be the incarnation of Pauline, I believe. The cries of agony ringing through the church grounds were ear-splitting. It was no longer a place of God, but hell on earth. He built up by the hands of man, all painted red with the blood of their brothers. The people armed themselves with anything they could find and went after the man. One times, yeah. So much of a beast as he might have been, he stood a little chance against such numbers. It is the fate of the beast to be exterminated by those he terrorized. Okay, all of them died here basically. That's why their souls are also bound to this place. And once he was gone, the nun had no one left to protect her. She too was consumed by their frenzy. All that remained was an inexhaustible inferno, hysteria and despair, madness and outrage, and no outlet for it. It was a revolt that made the slaves' uprising at the Lord's Manor look like a game. Eventually, the rage found a new target, the Lord. Also, what if the non because it's happening way before like Giselle times. What if the nun, the saintness, was Michelle? Like Michelle is a reincarnation of this person, and Michelle is also bound and cursed by her. That's why he heard the like Morgana voice all the time and stuff. And that's why he suffered. Okay. It was unnatural, for he was the true villain. He was the one who had given money and the witch blood to the church. He was the one who profited off it. And above all, people often resented those who stood above them, particularly in times of unrest. The city resounded, the cries for the Lord's head, and he looked down upon it all from the safety of the observation tower. He could do nothing but watch as his domain burned. I can only imagine how painful that must have been. But before long, having seemingly have made his peace, he began descending the spiral staircase. He opened the door at the bottom, revealing himself to his people. Before the door had swung all the way open, before he had a chance to say his final words, someone ran a blade through his chest. With that, he drank furor mostly settled down, but was hardly the end of destruction. More days later, a plague befell the city. Dreadful black spots covered the flesh of the infected. Okay, black plague. They withered in pain, screaming and vomiting blood. Ghastly howls echoed through the streets as though the whole city had been possessed. It became a cursed land. In the disease haze, the people muttered again and again, "We have been cursed by the witch." In less than a week, the entire city was dead. My body was left abandoned on the top of the observation tower. And, as if to seal the curse away in their final days, the people shuttered the windows, wrapping the house in darkness. It's possible that was no miracle either. Then did explain what happened to them. Locked away for so long in that dirty tower, maybe I caught some kind of disease. And then, when people drank my blood, they too were infected. Yep, probably. Hardly anything out of the ordinary about that. The first to die, the girl had already been ill. Her body merely chose the worst possible time to yield to her ailment. That was all that happened. Indeed, it was nothing more than a fluke, an improbable stroke of luck, an unbelievably unfortunate accident for the city and those three men, and the indescribably fortunate accident for myself. But I wish to believe it was a miracle, that even if my blood didn't have healing properties, even if I wasn't a saint, my wish, my curse, was what caused that uprising. That was my miracle, granted to me by God, or the devil. I chose to believe that, and that was my miracle on its true form thereafter. My curse brought death upon the three men, but for whatever reason, my rancor was far from sated. They had died, so what? Death is but transcendent agony. It's nothing compared to what I went through. So I made my next wish. I wished for the reconstruction. I wished eternal suffering on their souls. I wished to trap them in a never-ending cycle of pain and hatred. That was my wish for the flaxen-haired young man. He treasured his dear sister, and he desired a quiet life. So I wished for him to have just that. And I wished for his dearly beloved sister to love him more than anything in the world. Oh yeah! For his world to be destroyed by the love gone too far. That was my wish for the beast-like man. He was conscious of his tendency for violence, and he yearned to be more human, but he had his inner beast toned up just a little. I saw it that he would never be human, so he would never have the peace he so desired. My wish for the Lord was more straightforward. He seems to have a great affection for wealth and authority, so I assured those were the only things he could ever have. Who needs love or friendship when you could be drowning in power? Once he had lost everything, his solitude would be his only companion. Wishes can come true, as long as you always hold fast. Never stop wishing, never surrender. They can come true. Eternal suffering on older souls, an endless cycle of reconstruction, and unavoidable tragedy. Tell me, my dear, do you sympathize with me? Will you curse them with me? Yes! Will you take my hand? Sure, why not? Just don't curse me. And give me Giselle back, please. And revile them with me. Holy shit. This time when my body crashes into the tower's stairs, I am unable to make a noise. I'm quite frankly unable to speak more because I'm constantly speaking and I'm excited what's going to happen next. So we're going to the next episode like later. Yeah. Holy crap. The reveals. So wait. Okay. It's still like kind of racks my brain. These words were from the prologue, so Fata Morgana is essentially narrated by Morgana then? Or something? Like whole thing? Because I don't think like Michelle is Morgana, like... No, I don't think so. But yeah, like, I see my body, that was definitely the sentence from the beginning. But yeah, that's it for this episode. Yeah, we just saw the horrors that happened to Morgana. I'm Team Morgana now, but like, still waiting to see what she's going to do with Giselle. Because, well, we're not one to hurt Giselle, so give her back, please. Like, you are basically trying to make me curse you as you cursed others at this point. If you hurt her, like, Michelle will like curse Morgana or something, you know? Like, it's going to be like chain reaction, like, I swear. Anyway, that's it for this episode. Thank you everyone for being with me. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. So leave a like if you like the episode, subscribe for more, check my Discord, become a member if you would like to support me and see the episodes earlier, and maybe join streams and stuff sometimes. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you next one. So for now, PocketWatch is going out.